Hey, this is Warren Redlick, another reaction video against TSLAQ, the Tesla haters who love to bash Tesla, and they're wrong, and I'm going to show you why this one's wrong. John Engle is a TSLAQ Elon Musk hater. He hates Elon, he hates SpaceX, he hates Tesla. He's a whiny piece of whatever. I am going to swear in this video. If you don't like swearing, please stop watching now. I'm gonna unleash the expletives.
And they pull that needle out, I let the expletives fly.
So if you're ready to hear why Mr. Engle is wrong, let's go. Engle had a thread about a week ago where he was attacking Elon Musk and Tesla and criticizing a whole bunch of things. It's a long thread. I'm going to go through bit by bit. I'm skipping a couple of his tweets, but I'm going to cover all of the stuff he said. This was the opening tweet. He writes articles on Seeking Alpha, which is notorious for doing anti-Elon, anti-Tesla stuff. He specifically tags TSLAQ. This guy is an Elon hater. In February, he did an interview with Tesla Charts, which is another Elon hater. So it starts right here. Elon claims Tesla will produce 20 million cars per year in 2030, and it will have to launch a lot of models to do that. No, I'm sorry, Mr. Engle, that is incorrect. Tesla does not have to launch a lot of new models in order to achieve 20 million cars per year. Mr. Engle is stuck in the world of old automotive, where each individual car maker struggles to get any model to achieve 1 million cars per year. We don't know what the limit is on the number of a given model that Tesla will be able to sell. We know that Tesla is selling a very high volume of Model 3s already. It has started selling Model Ys, and it looks like Model Y is going to achieve significantly higher volume. Typically, what you see is models top out at 1 million vehicles a year. And if you had to produce 20 million cars based on 1 million, at most 1 million vehicles per year for each model, then yeah, you would need 20 models. But for all we know, Tesla will be able to sell 5 million of the Model Y. The compact coming in 2023, Tesla may be able to sell 5 or 10 million of those. We don't know what the limits are on Tesla's ability to sell models that it's going to make in much higher volume because they're that much better than internal combustion engine vehicles. So this is his first mistake. And he says Tesla's product development pipeline is strangely sparse. Well, what we know of it, we know that Tesla is looking at the Tesla Compact, and if you pay attention, we know that they're expecting to produce different versions of the Compact on different continents. We also know that the Model Y is already different. The Berlin Model Y is going to be different than the Model Y in the United States. And that may change, and we may get the Berlin Model Y here, but Tesla is not afraid to do different versions of the same model in different places. We also believe, or we've heard, that Tesla is going to make a hatchback compact version of the Model 3 in China soon. We don't know the extent of the product line diversity that Tesla is coming up with, but this is typical of stupid people that they don't get it. So dipshit Engle says at present, Tesla has just 3 vehicles officially in active development, the Tesla Semi, the next generation Roadster, and the Cybertruck. And Elon has hinted at a future 25K vehicle that may expand Tesla's reach beyond the premium and luxury segments. Well, first of all, Semi and Roadster are not going to be significant in the march to 20 million vehicles. Roadster is a low volume vehicle. No one cares about Roadster. Semi is going to be higher volume than Roadster, but my best guess is it tops out around 250,000 vehicles a year. Semi's contribution is not in the vehicle count. Semi's contribution is in the value because they cost a lot more than a regular car. They're in the ballpark of $200,000 instead of $50,000. So really each Semi counts for 4 or 5 cars. But they're also replacing smelly, stinky diesels, and they're making a huge contribution to reducing air pollution from diesel semis. That's why Semi matters. As for the Cybertruck, we do expect to be a high-volume vehicle. It could very well be 1 million or more vehicles a year. The Ford F-150 is about 1 million vehicles a year, and most of us who follow it think Cybertruck will do better than the Ford F-150. As for the future 25K vehicle, Elon says it's coming. Drew Baglino says it's coming. Why would you think it's not coming? Here, Engle actually wasted time focusing on Roadster. Roadster is a fun vehicle, which should be exciting, but has no significant material impact on Tesla's bottom line, on the number of vehicles it produces. It's fun. If it doesn't happen, I'm really not going to lose any sleep over that, but it's going to happen. Typically, He refers to the stated prospects for Roadster as being unattainable, seemingly supremely difficult or impossible to obtain with existing battery tech. Roadster is supposed to do 1.9 seconds in 0 to 60. The current Performance Model S with the existing battery technology is doing 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds. 1.9 seconds is not that, it's an improvement, it's a big deal, but it's not that big of a jump from 2.3 seconds to 1.9 seconds. Roadster is going to be much lighter, and yes, it is going to use new battery tech. It's going to use the 4680 high nickel cell and structural battery pack, which the current generation Performance Model S doesn't have. So yeah, it's going to use that. So these goals of acceleration, etc., they're not that hard to achieve. If it's lighter weight, if it uses structural battery pack, if it uses the high nickel cells, it should get there. This shouldn't be a hard problem to solve. This is another moment where this guy who claims to be technically sophisticated shows he's basically a fucking moron. He says that Cybertruck has an odd shape, bulk, and weight, and may make it unsuitable for many basic truck functions. I'm not sure what he means about bulk and weight. This shows he does not understand the concept of the exoskeleton construction. Sandy Munro got it the minute he saw it. There's no frame. The exterior shell of the vehicle is the frame. I made a video here talking about Cybertruck's weight, and I estimated based on the dimensions of the vehicle how much that structural exterior exoskeleton steel is going to weigh, and it's not that much. So Cybertruck, I think, is going to surprise a lot of people about how little it's going to weigh and how amazing its performance is going to be because it weighs so little. Another huge advantage is the space under Cybertruck. Because its profile is so long and wide, there's room for more batteries under Cybertruck. So if you put the high nickel cells under Cybertruck, you're going to be able to get a monster battery pack in this thing, and it won't even weigh that much. So when he says it has perplexed auto industry veterans, Sandy Munro got it. The guys on Autoline got it. I don't know which auto industry veterans he's talking about, but some auto industry veterans get it. And he keeps going after Cybertruck, has faced considerable scrutiny. What has Tesla done that hasn't faced considerable scrutiny from you assholes in TSLAQ? Everything they do faces considerable scrutiny. But Cybertruck looks like it's going ahead. I don't see any problems. Late 2021, if it gets pushed to early 2022, who cares? I love this bit. Tesla pickup truck claims defy the laws of physics. Elon Musk understands physics a lot better than dipshit Engle and the rest of TSLAQ. I have more faith in Elon's judgment on physics than jackholes like this who are typing on their computers in their mommy's basement. This is a beauty. He refers to the $25,000 compact that Elon and Drew Baglino talked about at Battery Day, and he said, 3 years, the proposed 3-year timeline is such a long timeline. Well, first of all, he writes this in 2021, and the vehicle's supposed to come out in 2023. So 23 minus 21 is 2 years, not 3 years, you dumbass. But he refers to it being such a long timeline when QuantumScape got all this positive media attention for a time that looks like they won't be producing batteries until 2026 or 2027. I don't remember seeing these TSLAQ idiots complaining about QuantumScape's timeline. If they're able to deliver this vehicle in 2 or 3 years, it's fantastic, it's great, it's part of the progress towards where Tesla is going. And I love how he says, blowing deadlines might give investors pause. Look, buddy, we're used to the fact that Elon doesn't nail every timeline. We don't care. You don't mention that Model Y came earlier than they said. Never got into that, did you? It'll happen when it happens. It'll be fine. And I want to be clear. My timeline for Tesla is 2030. If something happens by 2023, 2024, or 2025, it doesn't matter much when the goal is 2030. If you're a long-term investor and you're looking out to 2030, what happens if something happens end of 2023 or mid-2024? That's a trivial detail for a long-term investor. This is where we get to the criticism of a $25,000 model. He says, well, it may boost volume. What do you mean it may boost volume? They keep complaining that Tesla vehicles are too expensive and they can't sell them in volume. Then Tesla starts talking about a $25,000 model, less expensive model, and all of a sudden, well, that may boost volume. It either will or it won't. Stop sitting on the edge of your toilet seat trying to make up your mind. says, but it also means tighter margins. And this is an example of stupidity. This is just fucking stupid. Tesla is selling full self-driving along with its vehicles for $10,000 now. If I buy a $40,000 vehicle and I add the $10,000 FSD, that's a 20% margin. That FSD addition to a $40,000 model is 20% margin. But if I add $10,000 FSD to a $25,000 model, that's 40% increment to the margin. So a $25,000 model could actually have higher margins if people are buying the software that goes along with the vehicle. And I love how he says Tesla has a reputation as one of the least efficient auto manufacturers. And of course, the fantasy chronic quality and reliability problems. Tesla has the most loyal customer base out there. People are happy with their cars. Are there quality issues? Sure. Everybody has issues. Toyota has issues. Everybody has issues. These cars are complicated machines, and there's going to be something wrong here or there. Tesla's doing just fine. They're doing better than most manufacturers, and their efficiency keeps improving. This is one of the advantages because Tesla is producing in large scale, because Tesla is producing the vehicles in ever simpler ways, because they're reducing parts and they're reducing processes, because the best part is no part, the best process is no process. Because they're vertically integrated, Tesla is a more efficient manufacturer than all these other car companies. So this is just typical bullshit from TSLAQ. And here it is, the mating cry of TSLAQ. The competition is coming. Yeah, okay, the competition is coming, the competition is coming, the competition is coming. Sure. You guys have been saying this bullshit since 2017. Here it is, February 2017. The competition is coming. Competition is coming. People have been crying the competition is coming for Tesla since 2017. It's at least 4 years now. Where the fuck are they? You gotta be shitting me. The competition is not coming. So let me be straight about this. The competition has always been there. Competition is internal combustion engine vehicles, and it has always been there. Tesla has been competing with internal combustion engine vehicles from the very beginning. There is no EV competition. The competition is ICE, internal combustion engine vehicles. Tesla is competing against them, and they are winning. They can't stop. The competition is coming. Many new EVs are positioned to compete directly with Tesla's lineup. No. This is one of those things where the incredible stupidity, the incredible fucking stupidity of these guys just amazes me. Here's the deal. The internal combustion engine vehicle industry makes 90 million vehicles a year. Tesla made 500,000 vehicles. If you're running an electric vehicle company and you could say, gee, I could take market share from these guys who have 90 million vehicles sold, or I could go after these guys who sold 500,000 vehicles, where's your fucking upside? If you go for the 500,000, your maximum is 500,000. If you go for the 90 million, your maximum is 90 million vehicles. Why the fuck would you try to take market share from 500,000 when you could try to take market share from 90 million? And oh, by the way, the 500,000, they are better than the 90 million. It's easier to compete with the 90 million. There's more market share to take. What kind of fucking moron tries to take away from 500,000 when you could take away from 90 million? You're fucking idiots. Now here's some other bullshit. He is claiming that Tesla is slowing up on CapEx and R&D expenditures. So I just want to be clear about this. Tesla last year had 1 factory. By the end of this year, they're going to have 4 factories. That is quadrupling the number of factories, and I'm pretty sure factories are part of capital expenditures. And they're going from 2170 cells and 18650 cells to an entirely new battery cell in the 4680 format with different chemistry. So it seems like Tesla is spending a lot or putting a lot of resources into developing new manufacturing processes for vehicles, new factories for vehicles, new manufacturing processes for batteries. They're developing solar roof. Tesla is doing just fine on its capital expenditure. And if you listen to the quarterly calls, Zach Kirkhorn bragged about their efficiency of capital expenditure. They're getting better at how they spend money on capital expenditure. They're getting better at how they spend money on building factories, so they build factories for less money with more efficiency. This is not a negative, you fucking dipshit. Going from one factory to 4 factories, going from one factory that can produce 500,000 vehicles to 4 factories that might be able to produce 5 million vehicles, that's a pretty big fucking jump, you loser. And he goes into this theory with this idea that not only is underinvestment hurt, but other automakers have caught up. What other automaker has caught up? The current Model S, which we believe is about to be refreshed, has 400 miles of range. No other EV maker has 300 miles of range, and their EVs cost more. You dipshit. There is nothing. Tesla's got vehicles doing 350 miles with the Model 3. The other automakers have zip. They have zero. They have nothing. They are hoping they can produce vehicles that they can maybe scale to some level, while Tesla made 500,000 EVs. No one is close. No one has caught up. No one is close. This is one of his genius moments, this fucking genius. Toyota has a market cap of $247 billion. Tesla built 500,000 cars in 2020, setting a new record for annual deliveries. Yeah. And then he says that's barely more than a single Toyota model, the RAV4. I hope someone will inform dipshit that Toyota actually sells a lot more Corollas than it sells RAV4s. This guy's so clueless he doesn't even know how to make his own argument. The Corolla is Toyota's best-selling vehicle, sells over 1 million vehicles a year. RAV4, I don't know, maybe it's 500,000 vehicles a year. Not close to the Corolla. If you're going to pick one, pick the Corolla, you dumbass. And this is a beauty, and I've seen this from TSLAQ before. He says, even if Tesla manages to grow and produce 20 million vehicles in 2030, it still would not justify the current share price. Now, wrap your head around this for a second. If Tesla sells 20 million vehicles at an average vehicle price of $40,000 a vehicle, that would be $800 billion in revenue. Tesla's current market cap is $800 billion. He thinks Tesla won't be worth $800 billion if it has $800 billion in revenue. I'm not even talking about solar, grid storage, full self-driving. I'm just talking about selling cars. If all they do is sell 20 million cars, they'll have $800 billion in revenue. And I suspect they'll be worth more than $800 billion if they do that. You know why I think that? Because Apple has less than $300 billion in revenue and it's worth $2.1 trillion. If Tesla grows that fast that it sells 20 million vehicles, which translates to about $800 billion in revenue, that means Tesla would be worth more than double what Apple is worth now, or in the ballpark of $4 trillion. Again, that's leaving out solar, that's leaving out grid storage, that's leaving out robo-taxi, full self-drive, and everything. Just selling 20 million vehicles at $40,000 a year. Yes, it will justify the current share price. It will be worth 5 times the current share price or more. This is the same moron who only 2 months earlier said that Tesla would not be able to deliver 500,000 vehicles for 2020. Remember, he acknowledged Tesla did deliver 500,000 vehicles in 2020, and he said that would be mathematically impossible. So, and not gonna happen, did fucking happen, you loser. Now, this is the last of his tweets that I'm going to bother talking about. He refers to a future truly competitive EV market coming soon and about the EV space. And this is that typical bullshit that you see from a lot of Wall Streeters. Unfortunately, I think you see it too much from pro-Tesla people talking about an EV market and an EV space and EV market share. All of that stuff is bullshit. Tesla has been competing against internal combustion engine vehicles from the very beginning. There is no EV market. There is a vehicle market. At least for now, until the market changes to transportation as a service. At least for now and for the foreseeable future, there is a vehicle market. And the Tesla Model S competes against other luxury large sedans. And the Tesla Model 3 competes against other compact to midsize luxury sedans. And the Model Y competes against SUVs, and Cybertruck's going to compete against the Ford F-150 and other pickup trucks. Semi's going to compete against Semi. This all lines up. They're all the same space. This is premised on the idea that the average person who buys an EV says, gee, you know what? I don't want an internal combustion engine vehicle more. I'm going to buy an EV. Which one should I buy? As opposed to the reality that somebody says, Shit, my lease is up. I need to get a new car. What should I get? I had an internal combustion engine vehicle. I guess I should look at that, but my neighbor has a Tesla. Maybe I should look at that Tesla. Let me compare both of them. The idea that the average car buyer is limiting himself to either I'm going to buy an internal combustion engine vehicle or I'm going to buy an electric vehicle is total fucking nonsense. People who are shopping for cars are shopping for cars. And if the car will get the job done, then they want the car that'll get the job done. And if their neighbor has a Tesla Model 3 and they got to ride in it or they got to drive it and the neighbor said, hey, you should check out my Tesla, go take a look at Tesla, they might take a look. They already know about the ICE vehicles. No neighbor is saying, oh, you got to try my Mustang. And maybe it happens. Nobody's saying, oh, you got to try my Highlander. You know, you got to drive this RAV4. It's unbelievable. Nobody's having that conversation with their neighbor. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those vehicles. Look, I drive a Volkswagen Passat. I've never gone to my neighbor and said, hey, you should try my Passat. But lots of people have said, hey, you got to check out this Model 3. There's excitement around Teslas, and that's driving interest. Practical reality is Tesla can't make enough vehicles yet. They're trying to scale up production. It's all about producing battery cells and manufacturing vehicles, and that's the holdup. This idea that there's some competitive EV marketplace coming is nonsense. There is a competitive vehicle marketplace. There was before, there still is. And Tesla is winning that competition against everyone else, and they will continue doing so. If you're making an EV, make one that's better than internal combustion engine vehicles, and then you'll be able to sell against the 90 million ICE vehicles. You don't have to worry about Tesla. If you like this video, please check out my other anti-TSLAQ videos, and check the description below for links to Starship t-shirts and other t-shirts. Check the description below for links to the Starship t-shirt and other t-shirts. Support this channel on Patreon, links below. Join this channel's YouTube membership. And thank you for watching.